All right, we're live.
Oh, it says live right in the corner there. God bless this wonderful technology.
Yeah, what a game.
So, yeah, what a football game. I was a little surprised by the outcome. I did not expect the Bills to.
It was a blowout, though, right?
Mhm.
That's what we expected.
That's what everyone was predicting, so nailed it.
Yeah.
Wow. Where do you even start with a game like this? So, like the first, fumble, sack. What to you? I guess let's just start it this way.
I mean,
what was the biggest issue there?
Just got out of hand in the first quarter, just immediately. Just with the touchdown, they let the Bills score on their first drive. We're like, okay, all right, whatever. They scored a touchdown. They had some bad penalties. That's just take care of that next drive. Then Kirk Cousins fumbles, and then they score another points, and then Kirk Cousins fumbles again, and then they score more points, and before you know it, it's 17-0 at the end of the first quarter. It just wasn't the Vikings' day. I don't know if there was something else on their mind, perhaps, or they just didn't game plan, or just overestimated or underestimated the Bills, because clearly they did not look prepared.
No,
the Vikings offense just. I don't think it was Dalvin Cook being out that made them look horrible. They only had 14 yards rushing all day long, which is wonderful.
They didn't get into Buffalo territory until like third quarter. Yeah.
And that was because of a punt. That wasn't even because of the offense.
Because they did something. Yeah, they were just there. They got the ball there. Yeah, man, that was ugly.
It was a wake-up call for sure.
For real, yeah. So it's horrible. We've established that. Silver lining, maybe the best time that it could happen, because you have to move on because you have a game on Thursday.
It's week 3.
It's week 3.
Still super early.
And the Bills might not be as bad as we maybe thought.
They didn't look that way today. I don't know if it's more of a case of like the Bills capitalizing on the Vikings' missteps than it is the Bills, dominating the Vikings, because I don't think that was the case today. The Bills weren't amazing on offense. Their defense looked pretty good.
Yeah, their defense did look very good.
But every fumble and every penalty or whatever seemed to just go not the Vikings' way. Just every bounce, even that interception that just landed right in the Bills' defender's lap. Just. The ball wasn't rolling the right way for the Vikings.
Even for that ball to tip straight up in the air. How often do you see that? Like, that never happens either. Yeah, it was just a disaster. And what we're talking about here is a very angry, very desperate Buffalo Bills team that all of a sudden was up 3 scores early. Well, yeah, they got fired up. They're professional football players. They have pride, and you're not going to just, they're not that bad. You weren't going to run all over them. Like, this isn't like a crazy high-powered offense either, Like, this is not a score 40 points in a half offense, No,
they obviously made some adjustments going into this week where their defense just looks a lot better, but at the same time, the Vikings play calling was kind of like blah. They were just throwing short passes all day, not being that creative. I feel like
you can't really blame them for dump offs when the defense knows you have to pass. Unless you want to throw interceptions every time, that's basically your only option. However, the first 2 or 3, what is going on with the offensive line?
Yeah, Riley running past the whole game.
Yes. I think, to me, that is the A topic coming off of this game is what happened to the offensive line, because they looked okay for the first couple of weeks, and that was atrocious. That was Tony Romo said it on the broadcast. He couldn't even take a 3-step drop to throw a slant without getting hit before.
No, and it wasn't even blitzing either. It was just from the defensive line. So they have to play the Rams this week, so you got to get something figured out real quick.
Quick.
I'm pretty sure Elflein was in there. I think he went in the second quarter, so he was in there for most of the game after that. And I think
he was the dude that snapped the ball away from Kirk Cousins for that goofy fumble.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that though, because that's his first game and he hasn't been working. They haven't been working together.
that to me was the cherry on top of. That's where it was like, oh, fun. We're watching like a movie. We're watching Little Giants where they can't even. Oh, now they're tripping over each other. Fun. Like, oh God, that was brutal.
I mean, and I watched Mike Zimmer's presser afterwards, and he wasn't even like angry. I think he was just more disappointed than anything. He didn't really have a whole lot to say that people already didn't know.
The sad dad. Oh no.
It's just like they just played bad on pretty much every side of the ball, like special teams. Mike Hughes with the muffs and stuff like that.
Oh man,
you realize Marcus Sherrills is actually pretty valuable.
Yeah,
being back there.
Inactive. I was absolutely shocked not shocked that they lost. That's a little bit surprising, but it's the NFL. This is a lot closer to being equal than people, I think, sometimes realize. But oh my God, that defense is supposed to be the best part of this football team, and they were absolutely awful. Like no pressure, like losing tight ends in coverage all day long. And the linebackers are supposed to be like the dudes.
I think
Barr didn't look very good.
I think they thought they could get to Josh Allen a lot quicker than they did actually today, and it just didn't. He was getting the ball out quick.
Yeah, he didn't help at all. I mean, he played his butt off. I mean,
in the first half, especially.
Yeah, it didn't look great in this.
He made Anthony Barr look silly a bunch of times.
Yeah, dude, and it's Josh Allen.
Yeah, yeah. He jumped over him.
He literally hurdled.
Can't wait to see that play all week. But I mean, they were favored by what, 17? Ugly. I'm sure the Bills heard about it all week. They have no chance. Man. Bulletin board material. You hear about it all the time.
100%.
Trap game, whatever. But
I mean, I was saying trap game, but like this, I wasn't ready for this. Like this is something totally different.
I was sitting there thinking about the NFC Championship game. I'm just like, everything just like it keeps rolling and rolling, and everything just keeps piling and piling and higher and higher, and just worse and worse. So, but I am thankful it's week 3. It was against an AFC team, so it probably shouldn't, come into play.
Packers lost.
Packers lost. Did the Saints lose? No, the Eagles lost too.
Eagles lost too.
So
from a playoff seeding perspective, it's about as lucky as you could have gotten.
It's the first loss in the season.
Yeah. It's frustrating to know. I mean, not that they were anywhere near winning this game, but you win this game, you're 1-2 missed field goals away from winning that game. You could be 3-0 right now. And they might go into week 5 being 1-3-1.
Great job by Dan Bailey today. He didn't even miss a kick.
No, he was great.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't
get much better than that.
He can get booed if he doesn't miss.
He did his job. They signed him for. Don't miss any kicks.
And he did have an onside kick late.
Yeah, he almost got it.
Very encouraging. That could help in the and they're playing for nothing later in the season.
Yeah,
my God, who is this team?
I didn't understand the racking up the passing stats at the end there. I saw like Kirk Cousins had 296 yards. I'm like, why?
They wound up finishing. The two teams finished with, I believe, the exact same amount of yards.
Total yards.
Yeah, total yards on the day, which is shocking because if you watch that game, that was about as lopsided as NFL football games get. But yeah, so at the end of the day, if you don't look at fumbles, Kirk Cousins will finish with like over 230 some yards. He'll have a touchdown. He'll have one interception, and that doesn't look like that bad of a day. In reality, that game was over halfway through the first quarter.
Yeah, I think the big turning point was that like the third play of the game was what Linval's, roughing the passer. But I mean, they had to call it. It was helmet to helmet. But
yeah, I mean,
that would have been 3. That would have been 3 and out. Would have gotten probably good field position.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I have a tough time calling that the like turning point of the game when the tackles were turnstiles. Even if they get the ball after that 3 and out, he's gonna get destroyed. But
it got the ball rolling. And it gave the Bills confidence.
It was a perfect Like, we didn't know it then, but it was a perfect glimpse into
like
what would continue for the next for the rest of
it
the
was like a
game.
fire starter.
Yes, it was. It was the spark that begat the dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Oh man. So where do they go from here, dude? Does this change your like long-term view of this team, or is this just a bad game? And this, by the way, was at home.
Yeah, they're still a good team. I think they're still a very good team. I don't think the defense played as bad as people kind of think today, because the Bills scored mostly off of turnovers.
They did. They got the ball. They didn't have to move the ball at all.
And
they got the ball in scoring position the first 3 times they had the ball.
The long drive they had in the first quarter was 75 yards, and like 30 of that was penalties. So, the defense didn't play as bad. They still played pretty poorly with, missing tackles and over pursuing and leaving players wide open. So against a Rams offense on Thursday, they're going to have to play a lot better.
Yeah.
So is the offense. Kirk Cousins is going to have to get rid of the ball quicker, clearly, because his offensive line is not going to be able to, give him some time.
Yeah, no kidding.
Step up in the pocket, maybe do some rollouts or bootlegs or whatever.
I think is what they're going to have to do. Is they're going to have to move where he's throwing.
They didn't
call it launch point. Move the launch point, default.
They didn't call like a whole lot of screens. I mean, I don't know if that had to do with the deficit, but like when you got pass rush coming at you that much, I think those are the kind of plays you need to call, like quick screens and stuff like that, just to get them to slow down. But
or use the snap count as a weapon, or you got to do something to get the defense off balance, because they were just raring back. I mean, all they did was sprint all game.
I'm not really sure if I'm that impressed with DiFilippo this season yet. He had the second half last week against the Packers. It looked better, but so far this year it's just been blah. I feel like.
Well, and it feels like, I don't know, because I haven't watched the film here, but it was like there were adjustments made at halftime.
The defense made adjustments, clearly.
Yeah, and it seemed like the offense early on made adjustments that were helping them move the ball early. It's like, why those adjustments when you're down 17 in the first quarter? That adjustment needs to happen right then. That's the adjustment time, is right then, not at halftime.
Diggs dropped that touchdown pass. Could have had.
Yeah, it was.
He got slammed to the ground. I was waiting for the flag on that play, but whatever.
It was it was like the center couldn't snap the ball correctly. Kirk Cousins couldn't throw accurately. Stephon Diggs was dropping touchdown passes that granted, he's really good, so that's not an easy catch, but that's a catch that he makes consistently. We are used to seeing him make that catch, and he did not.
All this negativity, but Treadwell caught all his passes. Okay.
Yes, he did. No drops for Treadwell.
Great game.
So,
MVP.
In conclusion, Treadwell looks, a little bit better.
Bailey looks good.
And Bailey looked good. And what a punt. That's those are all the highlights for the game.
Vikings
it was a 70-yard punt.
Vikings outscored the Bills 6-0 in the second half. So
there you go. They won 2 quarters. I mean, just half of the game they won.
Eliminate that first half, and the Vikings are doing pretty good this season.
Oh, yeah, no problem. God. Whew, that was there was a lot of confidence. As a Vikings fan, I can't help but feel like we did this because we were Super Bowl and NFC champions, just no problem, Kirk Cousins, and we're going to the...
I think the point spread had a lot to do with it.
That too?
17 points.
Super deceptive. And what does that tell you about? Is that where the Bills are at, where the Vikings are at, or how Vegas thinks they can make the most money?
They made a lot of money today.
Tons of money today. That's why they do what they do. But boy, oh boy, that was brutal. And to me, the biggest thing that I'll take away from this game is that offensive line is still a total disaster. And if that offensive line can't do their job, they will lose to teams like Buffalo. They won't even get into the playoffs. And
Riley Reef was the guy. Riley Reef is the best guy on their offensive line. Maybe Pat Elflein, but
Pat Elflein can't even snap the ball to the right dude. So where are we at right now, man? It's chaos.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins, it was not a good day for him either.
No, it was not.
Off
It wasn't a
target,
good day
just
for
holding
anyone.
on to the ball too long.
Thought Zimmer was going to have a heart attack. Everybody was
Yeah.
walking off the field hurt. Do you think that was, I don't really want to play anymore in the second half, or do you think that everybody's going to be like on the injury report?
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw Marcus Peters for the Rams suffered a calf injury.
Oh,
So that could help the Vikings on Thursday. But, the Vikings, going into today, I thought the Vikings were going to win, maybe not by as much as they were favored. But
yeah.
then, as I was seeing, Dalvin Cook and Everson Griffin are going to sit out, and Pat Elflein's going to come in, partway through the game. And I'm like,
Yeah, not start, but
you
come
guys
in.
are you guys treating this like a preseason game?
I think they did.
Yeah. Did they even did they game plan at all?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It
they
sure
just
didn't look
are
like
they
it.
like, oh, we don't need to do this. We'll just game plan even more for the Rams.
Yeah. Was Griffin held out for precautionary reasons? Was Cook held out for precautionary reasons? Shouldn't have been if they were.
Yeah, Mike Zimmer said Griffin wasn't there for a personal reason, but he didn't elaborate. So I'm not so sure if that was his knee.
Okay, well, that is
something
not
to keep an eye on.
either, but
no, something to keep an eye on for the week. I think, but I think the Vikings pass rush still looked pretty good today.
Yeah,
Neil Hunter out there. Stephen Weatherly had a sack. I think that's one of the.
I thought Weatherly played his butt off today.
Yeah.
He was all over the field today.
One of the few highlights.
Dude, absolutely brutal, that game. I can't believe it. Do you think they have? Does this change your opinion about the Thursday night game? Do you think they're going to get destroyed Thursday night?
I don't think they'll get destroyed.
Do you think they could still?
I think they're going to lose. I think they were already. I thought they were going to. I think we both thought they were already.
I was going to say we both picked them to lose this game at the beginning of the season, didn't we?
Just not a good situation, but it would be a good opportunity for them to come out and prove everyone that wrong, that all their fans today that went to that game and saw nothing. Good for the people that stayed there for the second half, because I wouldn't blame them if they left it at halftime.
I probably would have left early. That was ugly.
I wanted to turn the game off, but I have to write about it, so I have to keep watching.
Ditto on that, brother. Yeah, man, that was shocking. Isn't the right word, because I feel like the NFL is the NFL, but wow, did I not expect them to get their butts beat that bad? But if you can't block anybody and your quarterback fumbles every time he gets sacked,
I mean, turn the ball over.
Yeah.
You don't get past midfield till the second half.
All these things. You have more turnovers than first downs until early in the third quarter.
The Packers' defense is just a lot worse than people think. They lost today. Alex Smith carved them up, I think.
Yeah.
So maybe the Packers' defense is just really bad, and Kirk Cousins
isn't even that good.
No, I didn't say not willing to go on that ledge right now.
No,
I'll go on the Josh Allen still as an amazing ledge. I think he showed signs today of heading in the right direction, but I'm not going to sit there and be like he's a Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, you could still, and Josh Allen had several throws today, across his body and back over the middle, and the plays that you could tell were like, oh, that was a bad decision, and that could have cost him. They were it's that close. It's the difference between touchdowns and interceptions.
Yeah, and they were without LaShawn McCoy today, a couple other people. So but they won. That's all that matters. Last week we were excited because they didn't lose. And this week, it's just okay.
Yeah, there's just nothing exciting.
And just back to the drawing board, I guess.
No kidding, man. Absolutely crazy.
But I mean, the Patriots lost last week, so the Vikings and Patriots have the same amount of losses through 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yes, that's the other thing is
3 weeks.
You have to remind yourself it's week 3. And the score at the end of the day really doesn't matter. It sucks they got beat this bad, but it counts the same as a 1-point loss as it would a 40-point loss, And in the grand scheme of things, didn't lose any ground in the like division race. Didn't lose any ground for like the NFC playoff stuff. So like they'll be all right. They just got to figure out how to block people and catch the ball and kick field goals and cover people. So
yeah, they should. I would anticipate Dalvin Cook being back on Thursday. Yeah. At least trying to give it a go.
For sure. Well, he was warming up on the field beforehand and looked like he was moving pretty well. So.
Yeah, I think that I didn't think Latavius Murray would be that bad today. Like every time he got the ball, I felt like he got tackled immediately.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he didn't have much yak today.
No, nobody did that. The Bills did good tackling the Vikings players like
I was
immediately.
Very impressed with that defense. They were flying all over the place. They were strip sacking everything. That was crazy. They were good, man. I was impressed.
Leslie Frazier, coordinator. He must have looked at the tape.
Must have seen it. Must have gone with the all 22.
Yeah.
Grinded some film, got her done. Finished. That's the NFL, That's the NFL.
But I mean,
dude, frustrating.
As he would say, the Vikings there's fixable mistakes. These are easily correctable.
Easily correctable. That's what I was gonna say. Very easily correctable. It's just got to get back into the lab.
Yeah. I'm gonna be on a plane on Thursday, so we'll see if I'm able to be excited that I might miss the Vikings game or be sad.
Well, shoot, after this week, that's a chance I would be willing to take if I were you.
Yeah.
Because good God, if they look like that against LA might score 100 points.
Yeah, they certainly can't turn the ball over like that. And I mean, so now the Vikings, have to block Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh. So that'll be fun.
No problem.
Oh, we can talk more about that tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
But I think we've covered as much as possible as we can bear right now.
Yeah, I think I have exhausted all of my sad adjectives. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, just throw this game away. Throw it in the trash.
Yeah. For later. On to LA.
Get that. This is their one game of the year that they can just get it out of the way. It's better to do this now than if they go on an NFC Championship, put that performance out there.
That's right.
Get this out of there now. They clearly know they can't underestimate anybody, no matter what the point spread is, no matter who the opponent is, who's playing for them, rookie quarterback, backup quarterback.
Completely agree.
Just got to go out there and just play everyone like they're the Super Bowl champs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
who, by the way, we play the Sunday after.
Yeah. So easy schedule coming up.
Going to be a great stretch. Going to be a great stretch of games.
Hey, you never know. They might win 2 straight.
They could.
Then they play the Cardinals, who they'll probably lose to. So.
Yeah, right. Because all bets are off now. Because what is it? Who? I don't even know. I don't know what to expect out of this football team anymore. Well, that was good. That felt therapeutic. Felt like like a weight has been lifted a little bit. I was very disappointed. So I'm glad we got to do that. I'm glad we got to share that.
Yep. It's great.
All right, bud. Talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Skol.